Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's astrologer Eric Rosen, and welcome to your weekly astrology forecast, Viking rising style. So, by the end of the week, towards Friday, we're going to have another full moon. It's going to be a full moon in Aries, and so this deals a lot with relationships. This deals with what is your baseline motivation? What is your ambition in life? Are you being motivated through trying to maintain an old paradigm of relationships? This could be, control. This could be people pleasing, codependency, just all the different nuances that we understand, the dynamics and relationships that ultimately keep our energy locked inside of us, where we don't feel like we can be the full, authentic expression of ourselves. This week is definitely going to be way more about stepping into the embodiment of futuristic value systems that are meant to be embodied and innovative for you to go into the unknown. See what the fuck is on the other side of the suck, of the victimhood in relationships. What is that story? What is that new leaf that can be turned over to not get stuck in, these karmic, weighing things out, or, loves me not situations. Does this person like me? Will this please this person? Will people like this? It's like, fuck that. It's like, it's not to be a negative. This is not a week this is not even a month to get into tussles with others or to try to assert your ego, to create justice with people. It's not a time to push, trying to create honesty or court situations to those levels of ambition. It is more about going, we are past the game of understanding that we can't just do things for other people from a place of, coercion, manipulation, just again, all the nuances of where relationships are corrupted. And it's not about being like, okay, fuck you, I'm going to do me or whatever. That part's already understood. This is just the embodiment piece now, of going, okay, what is my values? Do I feel like creativity needs to be first? And sometimes these are in a shuffle, right? Sometimes money needs to be first, prosperity. Sometimes, a relationship that feels congruent, that is on the same level and same vibration, and there is a flow to it. It's spiritually aligned, needs to be first. So this is a lot about putting on different hats. This is about, whether you're sometimes, you're fulfilling the role as a parent, you're fulfilling the role as a steward for the collective, just by being a good spiritual human being. There's going to be a lot of that in this astrology. There's, being a lover, there's being a boss, there's being an employee, there's being a practitioner, there's being a man or woman. It's like, whatever is really called for in the alignment of, yes, the present moment, but I'd say it's more so in the calm, relaxed nature within ourselves that we feel good. We feel good in that energy. We feel like this is something we can show up in. So it's a baseline embodiment. It's a baseline frequency. This is not about trying to push or assert any plans, any fucking agendas. This is about letting spirit be the guide, showing you through the threshold of the unknown. And there might be moments where it feels a little, rocky with certain situations. Or sometimes we want to go into our wounds and we want to, reject the situation. We want to reject the medicine. But if there's one philosophy I can imbue for you to consider, to either plant that seed or for, you to consider this basic level of acceptance, is that everything is happening for you, okay, not to you, from a place of victimhood, especially the buildup of this full moon. These are opportunities of lessons, of growth. They only become intense to the degree that the suffering is that the subconscious keeps us in that perpetual loop of this bad thing happens and that bad thing and this bad thing. And there's going to be people that fall into that trap. But, we can't self-sacrifice and try to pry them out of the trap. I think our best thing to do is just hold our authentic vibration of communication and not try to be right in a situation, or too much ego, honesty. This is a lot about trusting the divine timing of when you share things, when you make bold statements. This is not like time to try to do mic drops on people. This is about seeing the perpetual present moment of what's the flow of things, of like when to introduce things. There's a lot about getting out of control in your own identity, in relationships, in your fucking money situations, with children, like you name it. Like I don't know why, but it reminds me, like for the collective a little bit, like driving down the highway and you think everything's cool, everything's harmonious, and then a big fucking pizza hits your window. It's like with all the toppings, and then everything's happening at once, and then you're like, I gotta get this off the windshield, and the hood's flying up, and the hood's about to come off. This is a moment of where if you're in a negative frequency, if you're feeling like you're in victimhood, if you're in fear, if you're in any lower level vibrations, and if you get there, just bring the breath, surrender to come back to neutrality. But if you get into those moments, it can feel like you can't see, and your ego, your thinking patterns are being exposed to, hopefully reflected back to you, that you can take a step back and look and be the observer and see what it is that you are manifesting, that you are co-creating collectively with spirit, and see, is that from a place of lack? Because I understand that, a lot of this astrology this week is going to be that final square between Venus and Leo that's now direct, but moving fairly slow still, and it's post-shadow, and Jupiter that's retrograde. So this time it's a square with Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, so it can feel a little bit deflating with the abundance and kind of create that lack. So I think this is important to be seeing, like, where we've got to do our best to transcend our ego thoughts and thinking and go more into the heart and more the embodiment, and knowing that the abundance is there, that there is transcendental activity to remember that astrology does not rule us. It influences us. But when we become consciously aware of it, it's like, no matter what the transits are, no matter what the solar flares are, no matter what the human design is, no matter what the media is putting out, there is always a freedom passage available to you. I'm going to say that again. There's always a freedom passage available to you. There's always a way to walk forward without stepping on a booby trap. There's always a way to walk forward without giving your power away. I'm saying this especially to myself, but I feel like this is for all of us, like in some way, whether it's our own value of feeling free, our own courage. Like, what does courage mean for you? Like, for me, courage is a lot about not feeling the victimhood of losing my strength and my power, right? So collectively, it's going to definitely be not losing your strength and victimhood and giving it away and hiding and shit like that. But it's like, where is courage needed? Apply it to the mental thinking patterns where it feels like, to quote a South Park analogy from an old episode, that you're just choosing between a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Whether that's literally politically, people getting wrapped up into being a year out from a presidential election, maybe, with the way this astrology is going, it's a whole nother bit, but also the politics in our own life of trying to manipulate or create balance and harmony, instead of just being like, fuck that. Like, this is the truth. Like, it's okay to assert things in the masculine, but if it's a trying to win or, like, get dominance on someone, that's not really honor. That's our ego trying to be like, oh, there's honor here. I'm honoring myself by standing up for myself. And it's like, I wouldn't even say it's about picking your battles. It's about seeing that actually no battles even need to be won. This can actually be a really harmonious time if we sort of drop the microphone and tap within to what is it that we're really feeling internally. We still got 5 planets retrograde. It's going to be 4 here pretty soon coming up. So, but we're still reviewing a lot internally. So it's a lot about think before you speak, more so connect within intuitively before you express yourself. We don't need any more verbal diarrhea Watch out for that this week. Don't hit the fucking shit skid marks of others' verbal diarrhea too, and let it lower your frequency.